Alright, so last week we started at the Azor Shroud Resort, where you had breakfast. In Strasmy, yes. You did a bit of shopping at Tough and Stuff Hardware, and then y'all met back up for breakfast, a little bit of coffee. Took a stroll, you went to Got You Covered bookstore. Neil was seeing his competitor Wilma's influence everywhere within Strasmy.
You mean her corruption?
Her corruption, yes. After shopping, Neil took a pit stop mid-stroll and strips in the middle of the road to calibrate Bernard, arguing that the weight measurements were completely off. Debatable.
I had suitable coverings for my undercarriage.
Yes, of course. Visited the healer Dr. Deathbid, where Dezzen had his blood run through a variety of tests. Afterwards, you began your journey toward the Ogre Hills, with a bit of a pause for Neil to try a device on Dezzen, which went fantastic. It had the unfortunate effect of forcing Dezzen into an inner world where Wither exists, the beast who he is bound to. After some talking, we ended up at the Golden Owl Inn. After dinner, a short chat, a bit of tinkering, and Dezzen's dream. The last thing we did last week. So, you... sorry. You've headed to bed. Everybody has had a long rest. What are the plans for the next day?
I believe we were going to go get those ogre toenails finally, yes?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what we were going to start off with.
Okay. As you head downstairs to check out, Neil, you have a message from somebody that you know within the city, Mr. Fawcett, who is a jeweler. And the note says, "Please, stop by, say hi before you leave town. I might have something of interest for you." So that is a nice little note left for Mr. Favelstavel at the front desk.
Mr. Fawcett, you said?
Yes.
Well, if you don't mind a brief detour, it looks like one of my old buddies wants to give me something interesting. Could be shiny, or could be interesting for us.
Could be shiny or could be interesting. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
That is all.
That's specific.
Do you need coffee, perhaps? Are you perhaps suffering from a lack of caffeine? You seem not so animated this morning.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Well, let's get coffee anyways on our way, shall we?
the local, What's going on with your computer? I need you to fix that. The local Java's Delight, of course, will be right down the street from your inn, where you can each order a coffee, frame it out, grab your order to go, and you can make your way excuse me, to Mr. Fawcett's The Marvelous Chain jewelry store. As soon as you walk in, you see a very, very tall, skinny man jump up from behind the counter, run over to you. "My lad, it's been so long. How have you been? I got word that you were in town with a new friend. Where are you off to?"
Well, it's great to see you, Mr. Fawcett, looking as tall and leaky as ever. I'm here with my friend Dezzen. He is working with me on a contract. We are heading out to get some Ogres toenails.
Oh, well, that seems quite dangerous. Never known you to shy from danger, though.
Exactly. Always adventurous.
That sounds absolutely fascinating. So I have a question for you.
I'm all ears.
Have you heard of the glass spires?
Let's see if I have. 16 history.
You may have briefly heard about it. It's far to the east. It is a massive area where it is a no-go zone. May have heard
familiar
rumors.
with the story of that area. I haven't been there myself, of course.
You'll never guess what came across my desk. I have a sample.
Attention.
I have a sample of the glass from the glass spires.
Oh. It's quite a find. How did you come across this?
Can't give away my connections? You know this, Neil.
Just a hint. You through a well-known contact, just a traveling visitor, perhaps.
It's just a group of adventurers that I keep on contract for certain things, and they just happened to come across it. How they did, I don't know, because they certainly looked fairly healthy if they traveled to the glass spires.
They are quite an effective bunch, it sounds.
Quite. But I haven't found any use for it. I can't cut it. Not with even my diamond tools. Would you like it to experiment with?
Certainly. Not diamond tools even, you say?
Not that I've been able to get working. Doesn't mean that you won't be able to do something with it. But it's quite fascinating.
Very well. What sort of negotiation do we have if I do uncover its secrets?
I'm running short on platinum. You don't happen to have come across any, have you?
No.
Seems the vein has dried up. I don't know, really, if they're going to find another one or not. The prices are just exorbitant.
How much platinum are we talking?
At least a pound or two just to get me through the rest of the year, honestly. That's all I really need. But they're charging me quadruple what they did just a quarter ago. It's insanity.
Well, that is insanity. When did that begin? You said a quarter ago. What's going on? Do you understand why this is happening?
I've got no word except for just rumors that the platinum vein that they had found is stopped or is depleted. I mean, I guess I could switch to another metal for now. Do you know how to make white gold? Did we lose Discord?
Hey, are you back?
Yeah. Strange.
You cut out for me after just rumors.
Okay. Just rumors that the platinum vein that they had been mining for decades has been depleted. So, of course, they have to sell what they have for 4 times the price for no reason whatsoever. It's not my problem whether or not that they can't find any more. However...
Is this over in the pit mines or some other platinum vein?
Oh, most of it comes from far to the west, the Rusi settlement area. That place.
Very well.
I don't know how far you're traveling. I think you mentioned the Ogres, right? The ones just to the west.
Yes,
Oh, they're
yes.
so temperamental.
Any advice? We've heard shiny things work.
Shiny things work. They believe themselves great negotiators. Really funny, actually. Not really. And they like to play games. So, yes, it can be quite dangerous or, entertaining, depending on the way that you look at it. Honestly, I wish you luck.
Well,
But you must see this. You must see this. And he'll run over to his desk, pull out this large piece of black glass, though it's more a smoky color. And within this, like, there's strange veins within this smoky glass. And as you kind of hold it up to the light and shine it through, you see like a cobalt color, almost an emerald color shining through, and then almost like lightnings of red that move through the glass.
And what would you call this for the inventory? It's like shard.
Yeah, you could just put glass spire shard. You could probably drop it from 100 feet up and nothing would happen to it. It's the strangest thing.
I'll toss it in the air.
It hits the ground with the sound of shattering glass, but nothing happens.
Oh, very curious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's very odd. And I had thought maybe, I could do something with it interesting. But I could maybe just hang it and put some pretty lights behind it.
Yes, that doesn't seem an optimal use for its faculties. I will take it. I'll let you know what I discover, friend.
Yes, please. And keep word. Let me know if you hear anything about the platinum just on your travels. Greatly appreciate it.
Well, I'm afraid it's not quite the amount you were looking for, but I can give you 50 gold.
Oh, that'll do. That's fine. Make a tiny bit of profit from what I purchased when I purchased it from these people. So, how's the shop? Is everything going well?
Yes, everything's going well. Marcy actually came across this lead for the toenails that we're running this errand for. And Dezzen and I already had quite a fun adventure. Did you know in the swamps there's some actual, magical pixies?
No. I don't.
We were investigating a very sinister noise, and it turned out to be a group of pixies playing with a very terrifying creature.
I guess there's reasons that they have a very strong path through there. Well, I will be sure to avoid that. Did these pixies attack you?
Well, it turns out it's kind of funny. They're much like the ogres. These particular pixies liked jokes.
Fascinating.
And they seem to be gravitating to my, humor, of which you know. They came seeking stories, and we were confused at first, but we quickly sorted it out. We consider them now to be very friendly creatures.
How interesting. I had no idea. I just always thought there were monsters out there. That's what we've always been told.
I think we've been told a lot of things are monsters that if you investigate, perhaps aren't so bad. That's kind of what I've been picking up so far in this leg of the journey. I'd encourage you to keep an open mind when you come across such stories until you've observed it firsthand.
I will do so. Yes, that makes a lot of sense, actually. Huh. Always just, taking people at their word. Why wouldn't you?
Because, it's harder to find it out for yourself, but so far it's been worth the effort.
Your friend is quiet. Are you okay, sir?
Oh, he does that. He was hit by a tree.
Hit by a tree, not ran into a tree. I don't...
No, the tree was being swung by that foul creature I mentioned before that the pixies were playing with.
Oh. I am so sorry, good sir. Are you quite all right, lad?
Yes, I'm afraid I don't have anything to add to this conversation.
You can see why he doesn't talk much.
Yes. Quite.
But he's very handy in a fight. You know, it took a tree to stop him after all.
I can always give you the contact information for the adventurers that I work with.
Oh, that could be interesting. We might enjoy regaling, you know, my adventure stories, their adventure stories, perhaps exchange some information.
Yes, they can usually be found, if you absolutely need them. Sorry, I forgot the name of the city I'm looking. In Thoreau. I mean, it's quite a bit of distance to travel, but you can usually send a message to them and they'll appear within a few days.
Well, Dezzen and I are on a bit of an adventure in general. If we find ourselves that way, I'll certainly look them up. Does the band of adventurers have a name?
They do. It is, I had this prepared and I didn't write it down, and this is what happens.
How do you spell titipe?
The Tipsy Gypsies.
I like the sound of them already.
They're quite entertaining if they're nothing else, I can assure you.
Well, thank you for the information. I've written that down. I'll flip his notepad shut.
You are most welcome. And please, when you come back through, stop by, say hi. And if you happen to cross any gems, you know I'll be sure to purchase them from you.
I will keep that in mind, of course. Stay safe out there.
You as well. Enjoy the ogres. Okay. So, we head out of town. Is there anything that y'all wish to grab before you leave?
Were we were at this guy's place, like place of business, or were we just meeting him somewhere?
You're at his jeweler's. He's got a jewelry business.
Yeah, I think I'm good. Sir.
He speaks, yes.
Do you know of a shop here that has health potions?
Of course.
Could you point us in the direction before we leave?
Yes, it's just one more street up. The Gorgon's Cauldron.
Right.
You in need of healing?
Well,
You're rather pale.
It's hard to explain, but no, not currently. Not unless I come across another tree, I suppose.
just being cautious about the ogres, you know.
Oh, for sure. I do believe that is a great idea. Sorry for intruding on... I'm sorry. My apologies. Yes. A little bit up the road. On the right. Gorgon's Cauldron. Can't miss it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Neil.
I'm still right here.
Did we get anything shiny?
Well, you have those terrible, terrible magnets that you found on my personage. We had those. but I suppose we probably need more. And he'll start looking through scraps of things he has on Bernard. You'll hear clunking noises.
You just did get a pretty big shiny. Not that Neil would be willing to give it up, but...
It would not even be entering Neil's mind right now.
Okay.
It would be such a fantastic object he's come across, he wouldn't even think of it.
Yeah, okay.
Let's continue.
Oh, to the cauldron, perhaps? Maybe they have some shiny things while you're getting your health potions.
Do you mean like glass vials?
Those seem pretty shiny. They might have something else. Maybe metal vials.
Right. To the cauldron, then.
Or rings of something. Ooh, that gave me an idea. Hold on. Mr. Fawcett, do you have any silver on you that I could break change for this gold piece I have?
Oh, of course. How much do you need?
I gotta do the conversion rate in my head. So
10
silver is, yeah, I was gonna say, so a gold is 10 silver. Okay. Yeah, do you have 50 silver that can exchange for 5 gold?
Of course, that's not a problem at all. And he'll turn around, and behind his desk is a simple chest. And he'll knock on it. Darling, I know it's still early, and we haven't eaten yet, but would you just... I need change, please. And the chest kind of shivers a little bit. I'll bring extra. Is that a deal? Please? Open up. No. Okay. I will bring you coffee. As long as you promise not to climb the walls. And the chest will slowly open up. He'll throw the gold in, grab the silver, turn around. Here you go. It's gonna be one of those days. It's fun.
Well, I'll take out my remainder of my coffee. Here you go then. I feel like you might need this more than I.
You are a lifesaver. Thank you so much, good sir. It was a pleasure seeing you, and I do hope to see you on your way back. Maybe you'll acquire some nice shinies from these ogres.
Thank you.
Good luck, both of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you guys head out. What the fuck? Dezzen. Okay, so you head out. Going to the Gorgon's Cauldron. You want to RP this, or you want to just grab some stuff and y'all tell me what you're doing?
Is it a Gorgon?
The Gorgon's Cauldron.
But is it actually run by a Gorgon?
No.
I'd be
I
looking
know it's
for shiny
disappointing,
things.
guys. I'm sorry.
I don't have to RP it. I would just be looking for shiny things for purchase.
Okay. I mean, in this place, there are quite a few, like, crystal bowls that are set out for just purely that are used for alchemists, and they are very shiny. So they're like large, almost cauldron-size mortar and pestles that are available for purchase. You've got crystal, you've got glass. There's a couple of displays that are also marked for sale. Like, this is a very flashy place. So you would have like displays of like crystal chandeliers or lamps that have hanging crystals, that kind of thing.
I really should have asked Marcy how much this is paying. I don't know exactly how much return we're going to get on our investment here. I will get one of everything.
y'all are ridiculous.
I really don't want to get eaten by ogres. I think Neil would be willing to part with some cash.
Are we in the shop yet?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any health potions?
Well, of course I have health potions. What kind of alchemist would I be if I didn't have health potions?
Fair enough. What are the prices?
This is when I still have not downloaded the price list.
36 for normal. I know that. For common.
I mean, I have a few greater that they were supposed to be contracted by a merchant, but he never came to pick them up, so they're on sale. If you would like the greater. The common, though, are just 40 gold.
What are the green ones, the uncommon?
That's the greater.
Okay. You said you don't have a price list for those yet?
120.
Okay. I will take a uncommon one then.
Greater.
Greater.
Alright. Is there anything else that you are looking for? Sir, I believe we have met previously, though I don't recall your name.
My name's Neil. Good to see you again.
Yes, Neil. My apologies.
Okay.
It seems that you're grabbing one of everything. Is there something specific that you're looking for? Are you just looking to stock your store?
Well, I need some shiny things. I'm going to be dealing with some ogres, and they like shiny things, and they like eating gnomes. So I would prefer they have the shiny things as opposed to the gnome, i.e. me.
The ogres?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it would probably be best, not that I wouldn't like the business, mind you, but for you to perhaps just get some pretty glass versus the crystal. Unless you have need of a crystal mortal and pestle for alchemy.
I suppose that might be unnecessary. Very well, just the glass objects then.
Of course. I have a beautiful crystal vase, or glass vase, that is prismatic. It's standing over there. It might be a little dusty.
Hey, Neil, can you buy that one? The potions seem to have the potions seem to have drained my account. My wallet is feeling a little light.
Let's see what I got. So if I was to get the vase, this bowl here, he'll be like kind of juggling his glass items. This bowl here, and this other bowl here, and then this shiny glass thing. How much for them?
The bowls are crystal, so they're quite pricey.
Oh, okay. I'll put those back then.
The large glass vase is only 8 gold. It's just painted inside with a very pretty lacquer of kinds. And then that one there is 2 gold.
All right, we're 10 gold.
Okay. Are you sure that it's very smart to go into the ogres?
It may not be smart, but it is adventurous.
right, of course. Of course.
I consider myself an adventurer above all else. And we will go in with our cautions. My friend Dezzen here is quite handy in the fight.
Oh, good. Alright, well, I wish you both well. I hope that you don't need those potions, Sir Dezzen.
Yes, me too. It's the trees I'm more worried about. Are there any trees in that area?
Not once you get to the hills, no. But you're worried about the trees. Are you allergic to some of them? You have seasonal allergies. I have something for that, you know.
No, it's more of an inside joke with Neil.
Oh.
It's quite good. I like it.
Well, I don't have anything to protect from trees. But good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, so you walk out. And we are finally on our way. Go find some ogres. You make your way through Dusford. That place. You make your way through the remainder of Dusford. Of course, the street vendors are out now. If you wish to grab some local kebab and delicacies for the road. It will merely be 2 copper. You want to stop and grab something to eat.
Yeah, probably. And I probably want to get more, like, extra.
Okay, so you can grab as many as you want. There's 2 copper apiece. Not large meals, obviously, but they do the job. And you.
Perfect.
Is there anything else on your way?
I got a sweet perception check of 1. Nat 1. Just attempting to see if I see any wares being sold here by any competitors, even my own stuff, because I don't know where Marcy keeps stuff, where she's arranged contacts.
As far as major stores go here, you do know that there is one very small shop that Wilma owns. So she does have a small shop here. And Marcy would have set up a small shop across the road. But this one is Marcy's Marvels. The money is funneled into Fabble Stabbles, but she did not name it against Wilma, so that Wilma didn't know it was y'all's.
Oh. A shrewd business maneuver.
Yes, quite. Okay, so we leave Dusford. We begin to head west towards the hills. And what were you rolling your nat 1 for?
That was to attempt.
Oh, that's right, for the shops.
Yeah, see any other shops.
Yeah, so those would be the 2 that you know. Anything new? Kind of distracting. It's really busy here. Really busy. And food. Smells of, Smells of, like roasted coffee beans. Just totally distracting. So you make your way out west from Dusford. And in front of you opens up large, sweeping fields of tall grasses, blooming flowers, and small copses of trees dotted around. However, the smell as the breeze catches all of these grasses is incredibly refreshing. It smells almost sweet, as everything here seems to be in bloom. The road just west is well traveled, and eventually it will come to a T section, one going north and one going south. and you see, still heading west, a very, very rough path. Barely even a path. The grasses themselves in the area seem to be trying to grow back and cover it. Doesn't look like anybody's gone this way, at least with a cart, in quite some time. And as you begin heading that way, you kind of hear a few people call out to you. There's a better way to go west. You just need to go around the hills. Don't go through them.
I think we're on the right track, Dezzen. Be on your guard.
Yes.
Damn it. So for a few hours, it's just a lot of the same. Is anybody doing perception to keep an eye out, or are we just enjoying the scenery?
Yeah, I think that...
With advantage.
I think Neil would too. Without advantage, of course.
17.
Okay.
15.
Not bad. Not bad. On your way, you see a small family of deer. Seriously, stupid networks. You see a small family of deer who are making their way to the north. They don't seem to be concerned about much. You're far off the main roads by now. A couple of times you'll see snakes cross your path, though none that you would recognize as poisonous. And up in the distance, you see an old wooden bridge that crosses a small creek. The bridge itself looks fairly well built. It's weathered, for sure, but I mean, it's crossable by all measures. As you pass over the bridge and you're looking down, the water itself is crystal clear, and beneath it shimmers a myriad of beautiful river rocks. So many different colors, shapes, and sizes. It almost reflects color back at you, as if looking through stained glass. And off to the south...
Wait, on the water itself, can I do an Arcana check on to see if it's like magically...
Let me guess. With advantage?
Yes.
God damn it. Yeah, you could do an Arcana check on the water.
Oh my god.
Wah, wah.
I have a +8, and I rolled a 5 and a 3 with advantage. 13.
I mean, it just looks really beautiful, honestly. Whether or not it has magical properties, you might need to taste it. See? Though it is crystal clear.
Neil.
Yes.
Do you have an empty vial anywhere?
Investigation of Bernard to try to find something like a vial.
What about that crystal vase you purchased?
The 4-foot-tall crystal vase that is now sitting on top of Bernard.
We're gonna use it as a beer bong, alright?
I mean, what if it makes what do you want to do with it? What if it makes it not shiny anymore?
Right. So I'm gonna go down to the water and like take a sip of it, like cup my hands and put it into like drink it.
It tastes incredibly minerally and almost sweet, like fresh spring water. And as you walk off the bridge and go down and you take a sip, you see small fish kind of dart by. And off to the south, you suddenly hear, Steven! Steven! Where are you? Come back here! Where'd you go? Steven! This isn't funny anymore.
Hopefully Steven didn't pee in the river.
I haven't drunk pee, so I can't tell you if pee tastes sweet.
Shouldn't.
Should. Do I see anybody running around? Or any brush moving or anything like that?
You look south and you're trying to get an idea as you're taking a few more sips of the water, as it is very good. And quite a bit down the creek itself, you see a young child kind of run over the creek and disappear into some of the grass on the other side, and then come back over to the creek, start walking along it, looking in the water. Steven, every time I take you out to play, you just run away. And look, we're going to be late for dinner.
How far away from me is he?
A couple 100 feet.
Do I notice him trying to drink from the water or anything like that?
No, he'll walk this kid, I say he. This kid will walk along the creek a little bit, looking side to side, then see something and then run off into the grass a little bit, not find what they're looking for, come back, walk the creek a little bit, yelling again. He's walking away from you.
Right. Well, that's odd.
Children playing near a river? It's more common than you think.
Perhaps. Oh well, let's continue.
Neil's going to take a moment to wash out his water skin of the remaining coffee after he drinks it, and then fill his
Good
water.
idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think I'll do the same thing.
Get rid of stale water, replace it with nice fresh water. You got it.
Even though it's potentially been peed in.
I mean, it's a spring with fish.
Well,
There's
that's true.
Creek with fish. And probably a number of other kinds of creatures.
It's fine.
Okay, so back onto the rough-trodden road of kinds. And the further west you go, the less trees there are. Until you see the last couple of copses of trees. And then you pass them. And the hills, the rolling hills open up in front of you, and it is just beautiful rolling hills of these grasses and wheats and flowers. It's just a mix of golds and purples and blues and reds and yellows. And you continue on, and over a few low hills, and then you begin climbing a very, very tall hill. And once you hit the crest, down below you, you now see the orc settlement. Not orc. Ogre. Rewind, erase. Ogre settlement. And as soon as you cross over the top, you're looking down on all these very roughly built mud homes. The grasses just seem to disappear amongst the whatever is covering the ground here. You hear somebody call out to you. What you want? Why are you here?
Neil, perhaps I should let you do the talking.
We discussed that you need to do the talking as they want to eat me, potentially.
Right.
Do you not remember this, Dezzen? I'm concerned that there was mental damage when the tree struck you.
Yes.
Are you?
So I'll walk towards the ogres.
Okay.
Do you want the shiny things?
Yeah, that's fine. Just have your dog walk close to me.
Bernard.
Bernard followed. And Bernard will follow you.
Okay. Giant ogre stomps out of one of the watchtowers. You think it might... maybe that's what that's supposed to be? Maybe? Definitely nothing for them to stand on top of, because they probably can't build anything that would actually hold their weight. He looks down at you. We have no appointment. Why are you here?
Oh, hello. I have come for a donation of toenail clippings, if you have them.
He looks down at his feet. You no take toenail?
Do you never clip them? I'll look down at his feet. Do they look like they're ever clipped?
No, they are broken and rough and disgustingly, like, caked in whatever it is mucky all over this ground.
Right. How far is Neil away from me?
Neil has to tell you that.
Neil, how far away did you stay?
Neil did not come down.
Well.
What's wrong with toes? Why you take toenail?
You see, we need them for, or I need them for a job.
Job.
Yes, we need them for some sort of alchemy.
But you have no appointment.
Did I need an appointment?
All must have appointment.
Think of this as an appointment for a pedicure.
Sure.
Yes? For those dreadful toenails you have.
That not nice.
All I'm saying is that they could look much better.
Another ogre comes out from one of the buildings that's close. What cure?
For your terribly neglected toenails.
They both looked down at their toes. I need
like
passive
12 or
perceptions.
something. 12, yeah.
Mine would be 10.
Okay. Y'all are some perceptive boys. Wow, this is so different. Okay. But your insight though. Oh, you have. What's your passive insight? Oh, your passive investigation is 18. I have no idea.
So
How do you passively investigate things?
I was just wondering the same thing.
I believe it's passive investigation of like your surroundings. Like it plays into stuff like detecting traps.
Oh, right, that makes sense. So the first ogre that you had spoken to. Yeah, I'm not a fan of passive stats, but they do make sense for some things like this.
I think Luke was the one that spoke out against how stupid passive stats are, and the more I play D&D, the more I agree with it. Like, just do a check.
Well, right, but passive stats are for like when your players aren't doing checks. Anyway.
Yeah, the idea is to differentiate between like what your character would just kind of notice in passing versus when they focus in. That's like, in my mind, the difference between a check and something passively going on.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I use passive stats a lot when I'm running, so I don't mind them. So the one that was talking to you originally looks down at his toenails, this brow furrowed, looks back to you. You come with me.
Sure. Where are we going?
To the house.
Right. So I'll take my boots off and show him my feet.
Okay.
See, your feet could look more like this, I suppose.
Yes. You have beautiful feet. To the house.
I'd rather not go to the house.
You want to deal. You must come to house.
Fine. What was your name? I didn't get it.
Zudo.
Right. Let's go strike a deal, Zudo.
What about friend?
What friend?
The small one we smell.
If it's all the same to you, he's just going to stay there.
You see a very slow, awkward smile lift Ludo's face. Zudo. What did I say?
Zudo, I think Ludo. What are they? Zudo, Ludo, Judo, and Mudo?
Ludo is from the labyrinth.
Do a pretty good Ludo,
Okay.
but it's pretty loud, so I'm not gonna do it.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So you follow Zudo through these large huts, mud huts of kind, and around the back of one of the largest huts that you've seen here. And you go around the corner, and behind it is a small, quaint little house. Go in there.
Does it look like it would fit an ogre?
No, not at all.
That house seems rather small for somebody of your stature.
We no go. You go.
Got it. So I'll walk towards the little house then.
Okay. As soon as you get close, the front door opens. Soundless.
Hello?
Are you walking in?
Yes, I've already walked in.
As soon as Bernard crosses the threshold, the door shuts. House is dark. Neil, are we watching from afar?
Yep.
So you don't really hear much of the exchange, except for the booming voice of the ogre every time they would get excited. And then you see Dezzen being led through this village of kinds and disappears behind one of the huts. How long will you wait?
Am I noticing any ogres looking my way? Like, I wouldn't want to, like, all of a sudden try to be stealthy if it seems like they already know that I'm there, and so all I'm doing is waiting at the top of the hill.
You do see the one that had come out of one of the huts to speak with Zudo and Dezzen. They do just seem to be kind of standing there. Every once in a while they'll look at their feet, and then they'll lift their head and like sniff the air and look in your direction. And then one more ogre will come out, and you see them speaking to each other. And then this one looks at their feet, and then looks at the other one's feet, and you see him exchange a few words. And then they both are starting to look up in your direction. I don't know, they don't seem to be coming after you at this moment.
I'll stay put, but like I'm not in tall grass or anything like that, right? Like they have clear line of sight to me.
You could probably retreat into some tall grass and start moving around if you wish. Or you could say you stood behind in the tall grass before it just disappeared.
Right. Okay. I mean, with Dezzen in there, I wouldn't want to risk any anger. It seems like he might be having some degree of success. So I'll continue hanging out there.
Okay. Dezzen, after a few brief moments of utter darkness, suddenly a great curtain begins to lift right in front of you. And this curtain is
some Wizard of Oz shit.
The curtain itself is the width of the house, and you now see as it rolls up, it's literally the width and the height of the entire back of the house. And light begins to flood in. And you begin looking around, and it is literally a life-size dollhouse. Some of the things seem to be a little bit out of place, like a bed is in the kitchen.
And it's lit now?
Yeah. The whole back wall is... And you kind of look in that direction, and you now see there's some kind of barrier between you and the outside.
Hello?
Zudo, you can feel now his footsteps as he walks to the back, looks in. Do things. Do the things.
Like what?
We make house. You be in house. You do things in house.
And you want to watch me do things?
Yes.
Why?
He just kind of stops and is looking for the word. We want no more.
You want know what?
More.
You want no more?
Yes.
Something's supposed to come after that. You want no more of what?
About you.
Oh. You could ask. And then I wouldn't have to play in this giant dollhouse.
His face just drops. You know doll. You do things.
You do things too, do you not?
Not same.
Why not?
We giant. We know small. You do small thing.
Do you feel like your giant things are less important than our small things?
You get things we don't. We know why. You do things we don't. Do the things.
So, you feel insecure about your size and stature and Intelligence? So you built a house for somebody of my size.
We not build. Built for us. Do things.
I'd really rather not. You could just ask me about myself.
Just, like, sad face, stomp off.
I don't feel comfortable putting on a performance.
Nobody's watching you at the moment.
Not at the moment, but I feel like somebody would be. I don't understand. You just want me to do things.
You just hear like a forlorn yell, "Do things!"
All right, I'll do dancing lights. And they'll just be like kind of reddish balls of light.
He peeks around the corner, stomps back in front of the house. Not magic. Do things in house. The things you do in a house. Do the things.
Is there a chair?
Yeah. But it's just kind of sitting in the hallway, like right in front of the front door. No rhyme or reason to it, like the random bed in the kitchen.
All right, so I'll sit down on the chair and read my book about alchemy.
Okay. See him kind of lean in. He'll just watch you read for a while. So Neil, 5 minutes. Clean your house. 10 minutes. 15 minutes.
That's what I was thinking, Jazz. Like, dusting? That's the first thing I thought of. Is like, do I need a feather duster? Do I need to start cleaning?
So 20 minutes. 25 minutes.
What time of day is it?
Just for sake of daylight, we'll say mid-afternoon.
It's funny, my brain went immediately to doing house chores when he said do things. I was like, I could mop?
I think Neil stays put. He hasn't been in this situation before. He's not seeing any different activity amongst the ogres, is he? Or are they all still kind of standing around looking at their feet and stuff?
Eventually one of them would wander off back towards the area where you saw Neil disappear to. And that would have been the other one that was speaking with Neil, and then the one that was standing there will be alone for a good 5, 6, 7 minutes, and then another one will join them. And then you see them talking, looking down at their toes. One of them will sit down, like pull his foot up, and like really start looking at his toes. And then the other one will just lift up its head and sniff, kind of in your direction. It'll just be a lot of like rotation like that as one comes to see what's going on and one wanders off to where you saw Dezzen disappear to, and they're all talking about toes, apparently.
Yeah, I think I'd stay put. It might take quite a while to cut an ogre toenail. And some more time.
And nobody has message or anything. So by now, Dezzen, you have 3 ogres watching you read a book, sitting in this chair in the middle of the hall.
I'll start rearranging the furniture to make more sense.
Okay. They all sit down and like scooch up closer. You know, like how kids, when they're like hearing their favorite book cross-legged, they start scooting up closer to the clear wall, and are now watching you. And you hear them talking to each other. Good. The things. Yes.
You guys are strange.
So you move the bed from the kitchen into another room. Move the chair into what you assume would be like a dining area or like a breakfast area. How long are we going to rearrange the furniture? The furniture just doesn't make any damn sense anywhere in this whole thing at all.
Oh, I'm gonna remodel the fucking thing.
Okay.
Do some feng shui and shit.
Perfect. The conversation gets very excited as you start moving things around. You back up, scoot like an ottoman over a few inches, back up, nod your head, keep going. So Neil, hour passes, hour and a half.
Well, it might be just like Roger.
Oh my god, that's so wrong.
I'll give him a bit more time. There's, I don't hear any sounds of bones breaking or cries of pain.
Okay. So, Dezzen, the light's starting to get dim. You have quite a crowd now. Good 8 or 9 ogres sitting out there. You see some of them as you get really particular about one piece of furniture and sit with it for a few seconds. They'll start pulling up their feet and looking at their toes and talking to each other, and then you move to a new room and they get really excited and they just go back up and start watching you. So that's your measure of success? No sounds of torture?
Yes, apparently.
That's the exact same thought I was having. God. Anyway.
Well, there's no screaming, so it should be okay.
That was so good. That was so good. that Neil voice.
Oh.
That was really good.
It's a mixture between Mr. Burns and something
Bob
else.
Dylan?
Bob Dylan and Mr. Burns. Perfect. Well.
Okay.
Well.
So the furniture's been rearranged, and now you have a bunch of ogres sitting in front of you in awe, talking to each other. And night is beginning to fall slowly.
Have you been entertained adequately?
You eat?
It depends.
You hear there?
Ooh. I'll sit down on the table if there's a table and eat the food that I got from on our way out.
So you sit down at the table that you've rearranged perfectly in the breakfast area, and you pull out your food, and you arrange that, and you begin eating delicately as Dezzen does. And you hear, oh, magic bag. Make food. Why that then? And you kind of hear the tap, tap, tap. Without a fish in a glass bowl as he taps on the glass and points into the kitchen where the oven, like the stove is. The open wood fire stove. As you've been rearranging, you kind of get the idea that all of this furniture and these bits and pieces around this house all came from different homes of some kind. You have magic food bag. Why that? Tap, tap, tap.
It's not magic. I just put it in a bag. Storage. Do you not store things?
Sack. We have sack.
I'm sure you do.
So they will watch you eat delicately and clean up after yourself.
Friends, where did you acquire this furniture from?
Houses like this one.
What did you do with the inhabitants?
We eat them.
Right. This is some Silence of the Lamb shit. Perfect. And I'm eating at a table.
We no allowed anymore. Must ask.
You ask before you eat people.
Yes.
So I'm in like a glass ball.
No, it's literally like a Barbie house. The back of it, like the front of it where you entered, looks just like a house, but the back of it is like a big sheet of glass, so they can see what you're doing.
Is there still an entrance or exit?
The entrance is still there.
Are they standing outside of the entrance?
Not that you're aware of.
They're on the back, tapping on the glass, watching me. I'm gonna start walking out.
Okay.
Well, this has been fun, but I must continue my quest. About those toenails.
So you get to the door. There's no door handle. You push on it. Doesn't seem to move. No done yet.
Oh no, I think I'm quite done.
Door's not opening. Neil, sun is beginning to set. Still no screams. Every once in a while you'll hear an interesting, like, rumble that you can only guess is these ogres laughing at something.
Well, probably couldn't feed several ogres. He must be getting an audience of some kind. Oh. I'm just gonna keep hanging out at the top.
Okay. Poor Dezzen.
I'm gonna attempt to kick the door open.
You kick the door, and laughter erupts behind you. You fight door. That's funny.
I'm gonna use my transformation and look back at him.
Oh. All do this? And he points to his eyes.
No. Only those of us that are special and pissed.
What pissed?
Angry.
You angry? We give you home. We give you house. The things in it. To do things is safe.
Hold on a second. Let me read through some stuff real quick.
Night, Doge. Love ya. Get lots of sleeps.
I'm gonna use Blood Curse of Bloated Agony on one of them.
You're gonna give him a dog collar. Okay. Tell me what that does.
You curse a creature that you can see within 30 feet of you to painfully swell until the end of your next turn. For the duration of the curse, the creature has disadvantage on strength and dexterity ability checks and takes 1d8 necrotic damage if it makes more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn.
Okay, what's the save on that?
There isn't one.
What's up, Angel? There's not a save? You have to hit a
Not
creature
unless-
with it?
Amplify. This curse lasts for 1 minute. At the end of each of its turns, the cursed creature can make a Constitution saving throw. On a success, the curse ends.
So it's part of your blood maledict, which means you have to make an attack, right?
That's not what it says. The blood maledict.
I don't know how this class works.
Blood maledict and brand of castigation. Hold on. Crimson Rite and brand of castigation both require me to do a melee attack.
But this doesn't?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think there is either. I really need to read that class. I don't usually read sheets, but I probably should for this instance, just so I understand how it all works.
So yeah, so I can use brand of castigation along with my what's it called? Crimson Rite to use to like do something with the melee attack, or that's the melee attack. And brand of castigation, I think, just allows me to basically track anything, but it has to be done with a melee attack, I think, because it's whenever you damage a creature with your Crimson Rite, it's a weapon strike. But Blood Curse of the Fallen Puppet and Blood Curse of Bloated Agony both just say a creature you can see within 30 feet of you.
Okay, so it's like a spell. Got it.
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Yeah, it feels like since it's a special, it's one of its features. It feels like it plays out like all those feature spells that like lay on hands for a paladin. Like they just happen.
Yeah, I was
Right.
thinking kind of like the monk, right? Like you can't spend a key point on most things unless you make an attack.
Yeah, no, this is like a spell. Yeah, for sure. I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's cool. It's like an unresistible spell.
What? Okay, we're gonna pause here for a minute. What just happened?
We got raided by somebody.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome in. Yeah, that's a thing that happens. Fateful encounters. Welcome, and all the fateful family.
All the fateful peeps, as it were. We
Oh,
are
really?
in a human dollhouse simulator currently. I am currently the doll. Yay me.
Yeah, so that's what's currently going on. They're in an ogre camp. Dezzen is stuck in a dollhouse of kinds. Neil is watching from afar, hidden. Thank you very much, guys. And he is attempting... You are becoming more the dog. So he casts a spell, trying to cast a spell at one of the ogres watching you through the glass.
So the point of the spell is just to make him uncomfortable, right? It's for something to start happening to him, because it's only until the end of my next turn. So But it's more kind of like with the eye change and then with the swelling and the uncomfort that would come with it. It's kind of more of a simultaneous, like, I want him to know that he's not safe behind the glass. That's more kind of what the point is.
Okay, the reason I asked you if there was a save is because the spell is reflected back at you.
Why? That's unfortunate.
The glass itself is magically imbued. So, you are suddenly writhing on the ground in unimaginable pain as your body starts to swell. And, Neil, you now hear screams from the distance.
Dezzen screams?
That would be Dezzen screams.
Oh god, no, it's more like Ronald! I'll start running towards the screams.
God damn it. Wait, is that one of your other companions?
Yeah.
So you start running to the screams, and the one ogre that's left watching you kind of just watches you run down the hill, and he's like, "Friend, this way, this way, this way, your friend, trouble, trouble, trouble," and he'll take you over to the house. And as you approach and you're following these screams, you run in, and the door shuts behind you.
I didn't even get to fight.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So you're running with this ogre, and he's just saying, follow, 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 follow. And you turn the corner around the massive, like, adobe-type building in the center, and you see this house. It's decent looking. I mean, the house. 2 stories. Front door shut, and you hear Dezzen's muffled screams coming from inside.
What? Is there anything unusual about the house? Like, it's just a freestanding house, and I'm hearing
Just a
Dezzen screaming
freestanding
from
house. Looks like it probably came from a poor district. Or maybe like a small village of some kind.
What? I'll turn to the ogre. What? Why is my friend in pain in there? And how ogres can't even fit in there?
I don't know. I watch you.
I tell you what, I'll take out a silver piece and try to glint it off the remaining sunlight. This shiny can be yours. You just share with me what's going on here.
In house. Do things.
Why he scream?
House things?
House bad?
No. House.
There you go. I'll give him the silver.
A totally different approach to how Dezzen did the approach is like, I'm gonna try to talk my way out of it. Neil's just like, why house? House bad?
Gotta meet them where they're at.
God damn it.
Right. Okay, so he'll take the little silver from you and watch you.
I have another shiny here because I think you're being sneaky. Are you being a sneaky ogre friend?
I big, not sneaky.
Sneaky with word.
Word's word. Not sneaky word.
You see where I'm from. Me friend go in house. Me friend screaming. Why me go in house?
You just turned into Jar Jar Binks. Me said I don't like ogre.
On this level. I've learned that they get offended, so I'm not going to use my usual dialogue. I'm going to talk like an ogre.
You scream in house? You house.
No, he screamed.
You scream in you house.
Oh, fuck.
Here you go. Another piece of silver. I am not going in that house.
Okay.
Can I look through any of the windows?
The screaming will fade during this conversation. Dezzen, now that as Neil starts to look for windows. So Dezzen, you push yourself back up after bloating or whatever the spell does to you. And do you have anything to say or do before I go on? I'm sorry.
Oh. And here I thought they were stupid. They clearly know how to make wards. Or somebody did. Would I be able to hear Neil talking outside? With that passive perception of 12?
No, not at this very moment. So, you stand up, try to shake off, your bloating. Neil, you're beginning to look around the house. You peer through a window, and you can see now Dezzen standing back up, looking through the back of the house towards a group of ogres, who are all just sitting down cross-legged on the ground.
So I feel like just to piss him off, I'm going to cast darkness inside this house. Since I know it won't leave the walls, it's just going to kind of contain this house with pure darkness.
And suddenly, Neil, everything goes dark.
I forget how darkness works. Would my dark vision penetrate it?
No, it has to be true sight.
Okay, that's what I thought.
No fun! That's not fair! Neil, you would hear that echo, booming over from the other side of the house.
I'm gonna turn back to the other ogre. My friend, he put on show? He dancing for ogres?
In you house, you dance?
No, me not good in house. Friend much better in house. Me want friend out of house.
You dance?
Me dance a little.
Dex saving throw.
Oh.
Oh.
20.
Boy.
Really? A 20?
Dirty 20, not a...
Okay,
Yeah,
so
not
he
that
reaches down. Oh god. So he reaches down to pluck you off the ground, and you just kind of dart out of the way.
No, eat. We friends.
You dance.
Not nice to pick up friend who dance for you.
You walk dance? Dance walk. Dance walk?
Me dance when me see friend out of house.
I know open house.
Who open house?
He'll just kind of nudge you with his finger to push you around the other side of the house.
Open house.
You come around the corner. Are you going with a nudge as he tries to guide you around the back of the house?
Sure.
And he'll just kind of push you towards these ogres. This one dance. Dance.
All right. I'm gonna
Performance.
do a little know me jig.
That's how it starts. Before you know it, you're setting a house up.
That'll be a 10.
So, Zudo. No fun no more. Arena? Kind of looks around at everybody. They all kind of look down at their toes. Arena. 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 More fun. Arena. So, Udo will look down at you, Neil. You go Arena.
I no go arena. I trade shiny for toenail.
Shiny?
Several shiny. For little bit of toenail, no pay.
Little bit. Not whole toenail.
Not whole toenail. Little bit. And I'll like reach down. Is there like a stick near me?
Sure. A rock or something.
Well, I need a stick specifically. Or a leaf.
Yeah, that would work. You'd be able to find leaves. Lots of shit laying around here.
So I pick one up and I just break a tiny little bit off the tip of the leaf. See? And leaf this toenail look even better. Not get caught on other things.
For shiny.
For shinies.
Your friend not say that.
God damn it.
My friend not smart.
Shit.
He make house pretty. Not smart.
He good at making thing pretty. Not so.
So how long does darkness last?
I think 10 minutes or so.
Okay, so you'll hear this conversation happening outside.
10 minutes.
So are you gonna leave it up as he's negotiating?
Yeah, they're not getting any satisfaction out of me anymore. I've danced for long enough today. They don't care for magic, so I'm gonna just keep it up.
Okay, so
But I could. You said I could hear him.
yeah, you can hear this conversation. It's like, you know, behind a thin wall, so it's a little muted or muffled, but you can still hear it.
I suppose I didn't specify. I just needed a little bit of their toenail. Damn it.
So, Neil, everybody who's sitting around will lean back with their feet out. You make pretty like house.
I make pretty like house. Need little creature with friend. He have toenail clippers.
Dark, can't see.
Can I get friend out?
You go in dark, and you'll see him reach up to the wall, and his hand kind of goes through it, and he just arcs his hand up, and it creates like a little doorway in the glass.
All right, Dezzen, you can come out now. Bernard.
Bernard scuttles out quickly.
I'll drop the darkness and walk out, looking defeated.
Okay.
Get the
It's nice.
large
It's nice to
ears.
see you, Neil.
It's good to see you as well. I feared the worst when you were crying out in pain. Let's talk later. And I'll get the shears off the back of Bernard.
Okay.
Okay.
Make
I
pretty.
think I'll start with. Oh, I forgot. Zor.
Zudo.
Zuda. All right. And yeah, I mean, I don't think I need to narrate it, but I would be very carefully attempting to do this as peacefully as possible.
Friend. You, stupid one. Make nails pretty. No, give shiny. Wear shiny.
Dezzen, get the vase from Bernard, because I'm busy cutting.
How many of these ogres are there?
At this point, there's 7 or 8 of them. Dezzen's gonna do something really stupid.
How long has it been since I used my transformation?
I don't know. Why? How long do you need?
So it lasts for an hour.
Oh, then you'd probably still have glowing yellow eyes.
I came running right after you were in pain, which was right after you transformed. We talked a little bit. I feel like maybe 30 minutes have passed, if that.
I'm going to use my Crimson Right.
Here we go.
And I'm going to slash at that one. Because Dezzen was a slave for long enough, and fuck these ogres. So I'm going to pull out my sword as he says that. As he asked me to make his toenails, and I'm just going to slash at his fucking toe. I rolled 18. For 14 total damage. But I have time to roll twice.
Only one attack for a surprise attack.
Right.
Man, this is going to be so painful. Okay, so.
Look, they just stuck me in a dollhouse and kept me in a cage for however long that was, like the entire day. I played their game. He's not playing it anymore.
Okay. I need Neil and Dezzen to make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, my tummy's full.
Oh,
What?
I was rolling initiative. Dexterity saving throw. Ugh, 5. And that is a nat 1, by the way.
Ooh, 13.
Wah, wah.
These rolls are not starting off well.
So, you are both snatched up as Zudo screams, kicks Neil away from his foot. Another one of the ogres reaches over and snatches you as you're rolling backwards. Dezzen, Zudo reaches down and snatches you up. Y'all are both held. Arena. We not eat. Arena. And they will toss you into a pit.
Ugh.
What the hell was that, Dezzen? We had the situation perfectly under control.
First off, they were going to stick us in their arena regardless. Secondly, you didn't have to play a doll for the last 8 hours.
It was like 3 or 4. Wasn't 8?
However many hours.
Well, at least we'd have the toenails if they were going to put us in the arena.
We can take the toenails up after we've killed them.
You
Is
are
everybody?
quite unstoppable in your mind, Dezzen. I hope you are right.
All right.
Is everybody in Astral?
Yes.
Indeed so. I'm staring at a triangle with my character. Oh, never mind, it changed.
There we go.
Yeah, now I'm in arena.
D&D 5e sheetless quick start template. Perfect. Okay. Well, we know this one is Neil. So we're going to guess that this one is Dezzen.
I mean,
So
he
y'all
made him
are-
look like an elf, too. Sweet.
So this is the arena. Not necessarily. This is a very quick jog, guys. So not necessarily this nice. It's literally just a pit, and the ogres follow Zudo and the companion that had grabbed Dezzen. Would live in house. No, arena.
Go to hell.
You fight. And we take shinies anyway.
I'm already in hell.
Alright, let me do a thing for a thing. So, you hear Zudo call out, and more ogres filter around this giant pit and are there to watch. You fight food. This be fun. And a ramp off to the north. You see a gate, very rough gate open, and down come cows.
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 Like milk cows? Dairy cows?
These would just be, bovine cows.
What the hell?
Oh, you should know where this is going to.
I'm trying to make a pet for myself for Bernard.
Oh no, Bernard was not tossed down with you. He might try to follow, but the ogres are going to snatch what they can off the back of him as he crumbles down.
Oh. Okay. But in this system, I can only control one character, it looks like. Just flagging that for future.
I'll have to look that up. To see.
Probably just have to create another character. Maybe join in another tab or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, we'll have to figure it out later.
Should have had this ready. I'm sorry, guys. I honestly don't know what I'm doing with Astral. We're learning together. That looks right. As these cows rumble down the ramp, you notice they're a little bit beefier than normal cows.
Beefier.
And
Awesome.
now we roll initiative.
21.
Ugh, 9. Man, my rolls have been shit tonight.
Doesn't matter. Okay. So, first person up is Neil.
Okay. Dezzen, do we kill the cows, I assume? I've not been in an arena before.
It seems to me that they're going to throw increasing difficulty at us. Perhaps they think we cannot kill cows.
You know it would be easier than this would be clipping some toenails. And I will make my attack at the first cow I see, I guess.
Okay.
Each one of these squares is 10 feet, 15 feet?
5.
Oh, 5. Oh, 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, yeah, I can do everything. Right, sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at Bessie in the white. Ooh, wait, I got a paintbrush. Can I do something with this?
Bessie.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
First attack. It's a nat 20.
Oof. Max damage plus
Or-
some.
15. Is the cow still standing? Just checking.
Bessie goes down. However,
You monster.
you notice that a strange energy dissipates as the cow screams loudly, collapses, and their energy infuses the others.
What kind of cows are these?
I can tell you
I
exactly
guess
what
I'll
kind of cow it is.
My next attack then will be at this fellow right here.
Okay.
23 to hit
23 hits the cow.
for 12 damage.
We have bolstering cows, by the way.
I hate this week. I just sit it out. I'm a ranged DPS class. I don't have enough AoE.
Yeah, I have 0 AoE.
Okay, so movement as these cows, as this little dude screeches.
Oh, I'm hanging out in the back there.
Alright,
I'm moving nowhere.
okay. Dezzen, your turn.
Maybe just a little bit, actually.
Okay.
Just a little bit, so I don't get trampled by anything trying to trample this.
Mhm. That's a horrible view, sorry guys.
So he killed one, right?
Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot at... I'm gonna take a shot at the black and whitish one. I'm gonna take 2 shots. Take a shot with my crossbow. I've got a hand crossbow. Okay. 14, so 22
Yep, hits the cow.
for 9.
You're hitting the one in the front, right?
Yeah.
Front cow. Moves and goes down. And once again, the strain energy bursts from it and is absorbed by the others, and they seem to swell in size too. It's really weird.
So as it goes down, I'm gonna use Blood Curse of the Fallen Puppet, which makes it attack the creature immediately next to it. I'll have it attack the cow right next to it with the single weapon attack. If something drops to 0 hit points as a reaction, I can make that creature have a final act of aggression.
Okay, so he's going to attempt to attack the cow next to him. Hits. So the cow next to him takes 7 points of damage as he's going down in a rage. And he gores the guy next to him. This one screams out in confusion and then looks towards you, as they all do.
Oh god.
So.
Oh no.
Whoa, what's happening? Stop moving. What are you doing? Alright. Getting a little beefier.
I hate bolstering.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like you can ping the map by double clicking. Did you guys know that?
I did not. I
You
really
guys
need
see my
to.
pings?
Yeah.
Cow?
Yeah.
Okay, so the cattles move. 2, 3. Oh, Dezzen. Yeah. What's your AC?
It's currently 19.
So all of these cows begin charging towards you, and the first 3 ram into you as hard as they can. You take 21 points of piercing damage. I need you to make 3 dexterity saving throws.
I take 11 piercing damage.
Okay.
As I am resistant to piercing in my hybrid form.
I'll stampede.
And you said 3 dexterity saving throws?
Yeah.
Jesus. Natural 20.
Okay.
28.
Okay.
Woo! Nat 20. Alright, 25.
Okay.
And 25. My rolls finally came out. God damn it. No rip. There will be no rip here.
So they all just 3 of them headbutt you at once. The other 3 aren't quite able to get in. And you feel yourself being pushed back, but not knocked on your ass. Luckily, that is the cow's turn. Neil.
Just trying to see its range. Okay. So I'll move up a little bit, and I'm going to cast Enlarge on Dezzen.
Wow.
So he doubles in size in all dimensions, and his weight is multiplied by 8. Takes him from a medium-sized creature to a large-sized creature.
Okay.
And until the spell, the target has advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. The target's weapons also grow and do an extra d4 in damage.
Got that up?
And the duration
Totally
is 1
got it.
minute.
What's the spell name?
Enlarge/reduce.
Beefy dozen. Ugh.
Okay.
And you enlarged me as well. Oh, right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
enlarged you, yeah. No, I shrunk you. That'd be fucked up.
Just dodge out of the way.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Do you have any movement left, or are you gonna stay there?
No, this is like a nice, healthy distance for defending folks. So I like it.
Okay. Dozen.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to. Alright, boy, I'm gonna use Crimson Right again and make a couple slashes. One at the one in front of me. 26 to hit. For 13 damage. Does it go down or no?
Were you hitting the one that you'd already hit?
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, then I'm gonna take another slash at the other one. The one closest to it. Ooh, 16.
Still hits.
Alright, for another 9 damage.
I didn't see your bonus roll on that one. For being a big boy.
Hold on. So it would apply to both attacks, right?
Yeah, it's just as long as you're enlarged, your weapons constantly do 1d4.
Okay, so for another 5 damage on top of that. As I just start hacking and slashing through these things. Oh, shit.
I'm muted, of course. As one goes down, You hit the one right on the right?
Yeah.
An energy fades out from its body, and the others look a little bit bigger. It's the cow's turn.
These
Let's
cows
see.
are fucked up.
Yep. These two...
Well, we're supposed to DPS them down at the same time, man.
I mean, if I had AoE, I'd use it.
Right. Yeah, me too.
Alright. Let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Oh man, they're so close. These two are coming after you, Neil, and don't quite make it. These three, however, are all going to attack.
Ooh. Does Dezzen get attacks of opportunity on those two?
On one of them. As they ran together, so only one of them would have been next to him.
$22. Ooh, for a sweet 6 damage.
Oh, one of them runs up to you pretty freaking hurt, Neil. The other three, however, as you reach out to slash at this cow, this bolstered cow, the other three attempt to attack, and two of them completely miss you as you're reaching out, and the other one can't seem to quite reach you. They all three fucking missed.
Sweet.
Okay. Neil.
Going to shoot at the one that is injured.
Okay.
28 to hit.
28 hits. Y'all's rolls are insane.
For now.
9 damage.
9 damage. We'll finish it off. And you guessed it.
More beef.
More beef.
More beef.
Beefier beef.
13 to try to hit this new piece of prime rib in front of me.
Actually,
Doesn't quite hit. Oh wait, 13. Yes, 13 hits.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Whoops. I clicked the wrong. I was like, holy crap, that damage. I clicked the hit roll again. For 12 damage.
12 damage.
Oh, wait. That was based off me actually rolling to crit on that fake roll to hit. Hold on. 9 damage.
So what was the damage before? I'm sorry.
So give him 3 more life.
Oh.
If you already took 12 off him.
That was nice of you.
And you said they weren't quite at me. Could I get out of range of these boys without provoking attack?
I mean,
of opportunity?
they're like 10 feet from you.
Okay. 10 feet from me. But they're moving pretty quick. So... yeah, I'd rather stay in range of my friend. I'll stay put.
Okay. Dezzen. You're surrounded by a bovine.
Alright. 3 quick attack. Or 2 attacks. Oh, 11 will miss. 20. For 7. 10 damage.
On brown boy in front of you?
Yeah, the brown one in front of me.
10. Okay.
He's still up
Oh yeah, they're beefy boys.
for another 6.
You always get to roll the d4 extra.
Even on bonus action.
Yeah, anytime your weapon deals damage is how it reads.
Okay, cool. For another 2.
Beefy boys still up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna stay there.
Okay. So this one, as its buddy, falls to the ground and then gets shot by an arrow, stops in its tracks. Backs up 15 feet. I'm so mean.
I don't like this.
Snorts, paws at the ground, hooves at the ground, and charges forward. And will ram into you. Let's see here. Ooh, that's a nat 20.
What's the total?
Spicy.
6 plus 7, 13 damage.
Oh no, I mean the total to hit if it's nat 20.
26. Nat 20 automatically hits.
Oh wait. Oh, it does automatically hit? Okay.
Mhm.
And I was going to say, I'm not allowed to even ask that, am I? I forgot. So that's too metagame. You have to decide what I'm going to do as a
Okay.
reaction without knowing the numbers.
13, so what, I take 7 damage?
You take damage if something hits Neil?
Oh no, sorry, I thought they were attacking me. Never
No.
mind.
No, I'm getting rammed. There is nothing I can do. So yeah, I'm just going to take it. What was the damage?
13.
Okay.
And I need you to make a dex
And
saving
I'm
throw.
going to- Okay. I'm going to use a flash of genius to turn my 8 into a 13 in hopes that does something. So
That'll
13.
keep you on your feet.
Yay!
As
I'm gonna
it
u-
attempts to throw you back. Go ahead.
I'm going to use my fade away to immediately become magically invisible until the end of my next turn, or until I attack, deal damage, or force someone else to do something.
What the what?
I'm invisible.
Oh, I heard that. Okay. Okay. No, you could do that. Okay. The other 3 cows. Wow. Wow. That's another nat 20 against Dezzen. And then a 21 and a 19. Does the 21 hit?
They all 3 of them hit.
Okay. So that is 21 points of piercing damage.
Good night. 21?
Yeah,
So 10? 10 or 11?
10. You're down?
No.
Oh. As this one moves around you, and they all just 3 surround you and just begin to gore you. Alright. Neil. Invisible Neil. Because that's a thing that now happens.
When I'm invisible, I can move away without provoking opportunity.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Or they have an opportunity to attack at disadvantage?
I don't know. I was asking you. I have no idea.
Doesn't matter. You're good either way.
Okay. So I'm gonna move over here. And I'm going to shoot.
Brown beefy boy is the one that's hurt, if it matters.
So they're like all brown. So the most brown, like
The brown and
reddest
white one
brown,
to
or
the
brown?
to the southeast of Dezzen, and then the one that was attacking you are both injured. The one attacking Dezzen
So this
to
one?
the he's more hurt than the one that was attacking you.
So I'm gonna attack this one.
Okay.
All right. 20 to hit. 9 damage.
9 damage.
And then I'm going to shoot it again. Oh, and it misses.
Nope, hits beefy boy.
Oh, 11?
Mm-hmm. They're just cows.
Okay. For 11 damage.
Oof. He's hurting bad. This one over here, suddenly 2 crossbow bolts sprout from its side, and it snorts right in your face, Dezzen. And then Neil suddenly reappears behind you. Alright, Dezzen, your turn. So the one to the northwest and the southeast are both injured quite badly.
I'm gonna attack this one. The one I'm pinging. Yep.
You got it.
Bolstering.
Yep.
So 24. For 7. 12. For 11. And he's still up, right?
Yes, he is.
And you... Ooh, a 9.
Unfortunately misses. Okay. So, it is their turn.
Hold on a second. I'm going to use the one that I was just attacking. I'm going to use Blood Curse of Bloated Agony on it. Oh no, never mind. That's a bonus action. Never mind. It's not a special. JK. Keep going.
Their turn. Snort, charge, 5, 10, 15, 20. On to Neil. He snorts in confusion, looks around, sees you, and rolls an 11 to hit.
Not today, bovine.
Dodge out of the way, avoid the gore. And these 3 are all going to attempt to fight Dezzen at once. Pact tactic pack cows.
Perfect.
21 to hit. 25 to hit. And misses. So these 2 to the north both hit you. You take 14 points of piercing damage. You are...
That was cut in half.
No. The 7?
Yep.
This one behind you misses as the others push you out of their way. He gets pissed. And is going to start backing up 5, 10, 15, 20. And begins pawing at the ground. Neil.
That can't be good. I'm gonna shoot the one that's trying to paw at the ground. 28 to hit.
28 hits. It's fucking ridiculous.
7 damage.
He goes down.
Hold on one second. I can use my reaction still, right? So I didn't use a reaction. Can I use that on somebody else's turn? I forgot. We don't do combat enough, so I always forget.
I believe you would, even if you had used your reaction, isn't this a new round? Because I'm at the top, so you would have.
So
your
you could have made an
reaction back.
attack. You could have made an attack of opportunity if that's what you're asking. On this dude. As he backed away. Or you can have,
Okay.
Because you didn't, you can use your reaction now.
That's what I was saying.
And also.
That's what I was
I
saying.
wanted to use it on the one.
So I wanted to use it on the one that went down.
Okay.
And then I'm going to amplify the Blood Curse of the Fallen Puppet. So I'm going to have him attack something within, or something. Is he 5 feet from anything? No? Okay. Then I'm not going to.
Okay.
Gotcha. It's the one by. Okay, I know. All right.
Okay, so still goes
This
down. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was going to be my question. So Cal went down. That was getting ready to charge.
Yeah.
Question: do I still see the bolstering again?
Yep.
All right.
You do.
And then I will shoot this guy. Uh, 16 to hit
Okay.
for 12 damage.
Cal goes down. Another poof of energy. These two are now big.
The beefiest.
The beefiest of boys.
But Dezzen should be pretty large too. He should be a large size creature.
Yeah, I don't know how to enlarge him. Enlarge.
Well, I more mean maybe to Dezzen they seem like normal cows.
Oh yeah, they would look like normal cows now.
Yeah, they would. I mean, they'd still be big compared to what I'm used to seeing, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. All right. So, was that your turn?
Yep.
All right, Dezzen.
All right. Oh my god, the one in front of me is huge. I'm gonna use Blood Curse of Bloated Agony.
On which one? Or is it a touch?
On the one in front of me. As my bonus action. So it has disadvantage and advantage on, or disadvantage on strength and dexterity saving checks. So I take 1 point of damage. It lasts for 1 minute, and he takes 1d8 necrotic. 1d8 necrotic if he attacks me or anybody else. At the end of his turn, he can make a con saving throw. So I'm gonna attack. That's my bonus action. So I'm gonna attack it for. Yeah, 27. 12 damage on the first attack, and then 11. 11 hits, doesn't it? Okay.
It's a big beefy boy. You can't miss the big beefy boys.
Right, 6. So for another 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Big beefy boy in front of Neil gets bigger and beefier.
Oh, so mine died?
Yep.
Okay. How the hell do they know all this magic to be able to do this to cows? That's my question. That's a good fucking question. How do they know how to use bolstering on cows?
Alright. This one is going to turn. I mean, sure, big boy. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm
Right to
gonna
you.
smack it as he leaves.
Yeah, smack him. Give him a good smack on his big cow ass.
Oh, wait, and it wouldn't be with my
No,
it wouldn't be
melee.
with my ranged weapon, right? It'd be
Yeah.
I really hope I hit him because I deal 1 damage. Yeah, 1 damage.
You literally smack him on his ass as he runs away. Oh my god, that is so good. 5, 10, 15.
Perfect.
Okay, that is so
Bad
good.
cow. Bad cow.
Fuck. 14 to hit. I missed Dezzen.
Yeah, that misses me for sure.
Alright, Neil, now it's your turn.
Bad cow. And
Man,
14 to hit.
that's a sheep. That's not even the right animal. Damn it.
8 damage. 13 to hit. For another 11 damage.
Dezzen, he just snorts in your face and blood splats out all over your face. It's your turn.
Did he attack Neil?
No, he attempted to attack you and missed.
Okay. I think. Yeah, so it takes 1d8 damage. It just says if it makes more than 1 melee or ranged attack. If it makes more than 1? Okay, never mind then. Alright, 18... so... 9...
That seems good against like rogues and like warriors and shit.
Ooh, oh, that's d6 damage. For another, so 11 damage. Another 9, so 20.
How do you want to do it on the big, giant, bolstered Pact cow?
I'm just gonna kind of slip to the side of him and just slash him under his neck.
Blood pours out as he gives one last moo, falls over, and you watch as his body collapses. A huge burst of energy just shoots out of his body and slowly seeps into the ground. All of a sudden, the incredibly quiet ogres who have been around you start yelling and screaming. Can't quite understand it, because I don't think any of you understand ogre speak. What do they fucking speak, guys?
I'm on it.
Ogre.
Giant or
Giant,
something?
yeah.
Something like that.
Giant, yeah, it's giant. And then Zudo looks down. You did good. Good. Good job. We take shinies. You go.
I'm with you, Dezzen. We will collect the toenails by force.
Yes, I recommend maybe going back to the town first. And doing that maybe tomorrow. When we've had time. To rest.
So you want me to just give them the shinies and we leave?
Give them the shinies, we'll come back and kill them. And you can get your shinies back. But it would be foolish to keep fighting.
The first reasonable thing I've heard you say today. Very well.
Zudo looks down into the pit. Why you be mean? No reason. You want
Big
toenails?
reason.
This
Big
the
reason.
exchange.
You not honest about exchange. You say this go in house. We don't know why. You make him do dance, he no like dance. What if we make you dance? No reason. Then you put us in front of cow. We kill cow. We earn toenail. You still make us give shiny, make us leave.
He just kind of leans back a bit. Shakes his head. Leans back over. You did well. We will give you toenails.
Thank you.
Wait, did it just seem like he spoke normally?
I couldn't tell if that was because our DM's tired or she was tired of acting like an ogre. But if it was intentional, that is curious.
Again, let's go rest. Tomorrow we'll deal with these guys.
Well, he just offered us the toenails. Shouldn't we at least get those?
How many do they have? Do they have enough?
I would think so. We've seen like 8 or 10 ogres. Seems possible
So-
we could get enough.
Zudo is listening to your conversation. See him kind of scratch his chin a little bit. Looks over at all the other ogres. Says something in giant. And they all sit down and begin tearing off their toenails and throwing them into the pit. There. Toenails.
That was disgusting.
Who's collecting these things?
Bernard, sanitation sweep, please.
You're gonna have like 60 pounds of toenails, pretty much. One of the other ogres looks down like a pouty face. What about toy shinies? You have big shiny. What about toy shiny?
I think he might be referring to that shitty magnet.
Or the
You
death
ha-
machines. The little toys that you took from your shop out of the torture section. The sharp metal toys.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Do I have Bernard back yet? Have they released him?
Yeah, they released him. And as he's like walking around, they're just all kind of like putting stuff back on him.
So as he passes me by to begin cleaning what I imagine would be blood on the toenails off,
Some of them, yeah.
I'll dig into the pack and retrieve the toys. Here you go. I did
Good.
promise these to your friend, and I'm a man who honors my word.
Good. Zudo looks down. What are your names?
I'm gonna look to Dezzen first, because Dezzen's changed his name in different circumstances, so Neil wouldn't want to say anything first.
I am Dezzen.
And I am Neil.
Dezzen. Satara's Dezzen.
Yes.
Return to me another time if you want some answers.
And which one's talking to me?
Zudo. Zudo just kind of leans back, scratches his chin. Toenails. Good. Go. So he wanted to know if Neil heard that. And Neil would have heard that.
Heard what exactly?
All right. Him talk.
Well, that's what I was trying to. Yeah, I was trying to understand. I think it's something that just doesn't translate as well over the internet as it must do in person in the house. Is he like very much changing speech patterns? When he leaned in, I picked up on that at the end that he switched modes.
Yeah, conjunctions exist, apparently.
Okay. Yeah, then Neil would have heard it, and that would have stood out to Neil and been strange. But he, in the interest of being polite, because he knows they're potentially getting out of this without having to fight any more cows, that he would not bring it up.
You don't like my bolstered Pact cows? Pack of Pact cows?
Neil's an adventurer by all means, but he's not diving headlong. He's not super brave, and he knows that they eat gnomes. So he kind of wants to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Yeah. I mean, they did tell you they had to have permission to eat people, so no, they told Neil that.
But, yeah, Neil didn't hear it. They were talking to Dezzen.
Or not Neil, I'm sorry, Dezzen. Yeah.
Make sure to play.
That's funny.
So we got the toenails. We handed out the toys. He said come back later.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything I wanted to talk to the ogres about. Is there anything you want to talk to them about after hearing that, Tim?
No.
Well, thank you for your hospitality and seeing things from our perspective. You have very powerful magic here, very impressive. I hope the next time we come, we can trade more shinies and we can have a great conversation and less killing of cows.
Get appointment.
How does one get appointment?
Must ask.
Who ask?
Zudo.
Okay. I'll be looking for anything even moderately shiny to give out to the ogres because I need to lessen the weight on Bernard in order to add these ogre toenails. Okay. So it might be things like a spare tool that he hadn't used in a long time or bits of scrap metal.
Well, you do have that massive vase, which was I suppose. Huge. And then the other glass ornaments that you purchased. So that's completely up to you what you leave behind.
Specifically to Zudo.
Okay.
I'd say, me want to be friend of Ogre. Me offer shinies as friendship.
Good. Me like. You want appointment?
Me don't know when back. Could me have appointment when we return?
Yes. Appointment need token. And he'll reach, behind him, kind of dig into his pants a little bit. And he'll pull out a strange wooden carved thing. It's about this big. And it's got just a really weird pattern on it. And, on the top of it looks like 2 bull horns. And he'll just toss it down to you in the pit. ointment.
Thank you. How does the token smell?
It smells like rotting grasses and hay.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
All right. I'll put it on.
He probably had like a really old burlap sack or something like tied inside his waistband. Ass sweat.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Assy.
Swamp assy ass sweat.
Okay,
that'd be
so-
it for Neil. He'd be ready to try to leave.
Yeah, I think I want to get the hell out of here too.
So you are allowed up the ramp, out through their little town, their little village, up over the hill, and it is now night. Are we going to walk through the night to the next, back to Desford? Or what direction are we going?
How far are we from
Desford?
Desford?
A good 5 hours?
Um,
I think I'd want to at least walk away from the ogres, but probably
yeah,
not.
far enough away from them.
Yeah, probably not
For sure.
deep into the night.
Okay. I want to say the halfway point is probably the bridge. Unless you wanted to try to make a place in the grasses, or maybe one of the small copse of trees that you had seen on your way in. Y'all tell me.
Yeah, I feel like I'd want to walk to the tree line.
Okay. So there would be a couple of groupings of trees. There's not really a tree line unless you go pretty far south. There's small groups of trees.
Ooh. Nat 20, survival 23. So
Very
let's
nice.
Set up camp.
Very, very nice. Yes. So you would just travel a bit down, maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours. You do hear calls of the night, some owls, maybe some foxes, but nothing seems to attack you or even come close. It's more sounds of alert as you walk through the grasses in this old road, and you find a nice little grouping of trees with some shrubs and in the middle of what looks like maybe an old bedding place for deer, or maybe they fled on your way here. But looks like a nice safe spot to bed down for the night.
Neil will move the toenails to as close to the bottom of the pile as he can on Bernard, because he knows they're valuable in some respect.
Yes, they are.
I mean, yeah, we went through hell to get those damn toenails.
Well, that was, I suppose, successful. I think I learned a lesson there to not leave you alone. I'll make sure to keep you company from here on in.
Yes. I mean, I don't think any of us could have anticipated that they would have had that degree of magic. At least I wouldn't have.
I would have read that book on the ogres. Did it have any? Oh no, I just skimmed through it. Never mind. All right. I wasn't looking for that. Well, now we know.
Yes.
Sorry, you had to be the guinea pig again. Feel bad about that. I
Well.
just didn't want to get eaten.
Yes, at least this time I survived. I did not die by tree.
Yes. It's true. And we learned that you are terrible at negotiating, so I will make sure to be there in the future.
Right, I'll have to brush up on my ogre next time we go out.
It's more of a learned practice. You have to kind of meld with the people you're with, Dezzen. You see, they will quickly become your friend if they feel that you're making the communicational effort to speak in their ways and think as they think. It's a wonderful skill to develop here in the outside world. It might be something worth investing in. You want to think to yourself, what would an ogre do?
It's somewhat disturbing to me that you can do that.
I mean, it's actually a quite valuable skill I've established over a long career. I don't suppose you're at a crossroads yet. I know you need to figure out what's going on with Sitara, but if you want to be an adventurer, you might want to work on it yourself. I've talked my way out of so many more fights than I've fought my way out of.
And I think at this point he's wondering if he's being serious. Yes, I'll work on my negotiation skills.
You got that intimidation thing down. I like the eye color change. That's very good. But some folks can't be intimidated.
Right. Well, what time is it right now?
Well, it's probably like midnight.
I'm exhausted. I'm going to try to get some sleep.
Me too.
Good night, Neil.
Good night, Dezzen.
Okay. Are we setting a watch?
Before we go to bed, I'm going to heal up Neil to the best of my ability with my heal spells.
Okay.
So, let's do this thing. Rank 2 Cure Wounds. You can give yourself 17 hit points.
Nice.
I'm going to do another one. 11 hit points. How you looking? You need more? I got more.
No, that's fine, dude.
Okay. Then I'll go to bed.
Okay. You got it. And
Oh shit! I forgot that I got hit. I'm gonna heal myself too.
okay.
Probably a good idea.
All right, I'm good.
Okay, so Dezzen, few of your puncture wounds begin to close up, and the deeper lacerations are no more, though you still do have quite a few surface. Could probably use some stitching. Neil, you did not quite take as much of the brunt of the Pact cows as Dezzen did, so most of your wounds will heal completely, though you will be a little sore, of course. And that is where we will end tonight, with some combat stuff for a little bit.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, I like Astral. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, I just need to learn how to use it. So
That's
I'll
nice.
start.
It's quick. It's easier than Theater of the Mind.
Yeah. I'll do some more research on how to use it, since I'm trying to throw in more combat. But that's what I got for you guys tonight. How's Dezzen feeling as he goes to sleep?
In pain again?
But not angry?
I mean, definitely angry. I mean, yeah, I mean, he's angry, but not like it's anger that he's used to. So it's kind of I don't know, like I'll have to think about it a bit more.
Okay, just checking. But otherwise,
It's not a big fan of being caged into a house like that, for sure.
that was fun. I'm glad you enjoyed Astral. It's just something that I thought would be super easy to use, and we wouldn't have to do a bunch of stuff to get it ready. Like, we can still use D&D Beyond for all of our rolling. We can still do all of that. We don't have to worry about going through and, like, with Roll20 or whatever and paying for books again just to have stuff unlocked so you can roll in. I mean, you can create your character within Astral, but I just don't think it's necessary because we have everything in D&D Beyond. Because you'd have to hand type out all your spells, all the rolls, everything.
Gotcha.
So, anyway, for anybody who's still left from the raid, thank you guys so much.
Yes, thank you. Sorry, we had a lot of issues tonight. We changed some of our tech stuff, and it was pretty much an epic fail on every level. So, but I wouldn't have known until we did this. So, between doing video over Wi-Fi and the streaming and the video call on Discord, it's a pretty decent amount of traffic, but this thing should have been able to handle it, and it didn't. So, it's basically worse in every way than our other one. So, lots of distractions tonight, but I appreciate anybody who stayed to hang out or to push through it. And then we started using Astral tonight as well, which is a totally different VTT than what we're used to. So there's a learning experience there, but we'll get it all figured out and caught on and push through the campaign. This is our third campaign, our fourth session of this campaign, so we are still kind of getting going. This was the first the first major combat encounter we had. I got in captain on the first day.
I do want to look at, there's a lot of homebrew fixes for Blood Hunter.
Yeah, I don't want to do a bunch of homebrew stuff. I don't want to have to keep track of it. I don't want to do any of that.
Okay. So then, if you're not enjoying it, we'll have to have a conversation about that.
Yep. Well, that's the cool thing about... So this is only the second time we've done combat with these characters, right? And I feel like... I just don't care for the way it plays. For example, this is a key thing. Crimson Right, which is a bonus action, imbues a weapon to strike for 1d6. Right? But I take damage. But why don't I have 2 attacks? If I do 2 attacks, and I can still bonus action 2-weapon fighting, why would I use a bonus action to hurt myself for the same amount of damage? Like, that makes 0 sense to me. So, unless you're doing like a strength build version, and you're doing a two-handed weapon, it's weird. And then the blood curse of the fallen puppet, them having to make more or not fallen puppet, but which one is it? Blood curse of bloated agony, making more than one ranged or melee attack during its turn pretty much makes it useless in early game.
Oh, I'm reading your Crimson Right. It looks like it's a day-long buff. So that's the difference between it and 2-weapon fighting.
Yeah, but I can just do 2-weapon fighting every time. It's a combat-based thing.
Well, right, but you could like bonus action at the beginning of the combat, and then if you had 2-weapon fighting in addition, gain that extra bonus every time you hit. It's a permanent 1d6 after you activate.
I see what you're saying.
So it's like
until you complete a short long rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Kind of paladin-esque in that way.
Yeah, for sure. I'll have to think about it. I'll talk it over with Tiffany. So I don't really want to have to change anything if I don't have to.
Yeah, the self, like, with how moderate hit points like D&D has, the self-hurt thing, it seems like a really funky mechanic.
Well, that's what I was telling Tiffany. Now, the only having to do it once per day isn't bad. But that's what I was telling Tiffany too. Like, that really should be like a 1d4 1d6 is a little steep.
Well, especially if you don't gain it back somehow. That's my
Right.
problem with it. Like, what's the benefit to it? When
Right.
Paladin
I mean,
Smite adds so much.
Well, so Paladin Smite is limited. It seems like this until they get to level whatever, where it becomes permanent. Level, what is it? 12 or something. It seems like the benefit here is it's like just you do a bunch of melee extra damage. So it's just
Right.
like a permanent buff for the day.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll have
But
to
the
really
other
dig
stuff
into that.
costing hit points is weird. Like the curses, I just was reading those. The curses seem really weird.
Yeah, I don't... We had tried Bloodhunter before and had come to the same conclusion that it's so... It's so much... It's so much pain for so little gain. You know?
Right. Which might be why he made it in the first place, is maybe it's a way of adding additional difficulty factors. So, like, making a class that is inherently hurting you as a way of making the game more difficult. That seems weird.
Yeah, I mean... 1d8 is a lot to add. No, 1d6. 1d8 at 11th. Yeah, I don't know.
It's also versatile. That's another advantage to Crimson Right over, like, so Paladins only find damage. Like, if you were able to run a campaign where your party gets you a lot of intel, so you know what they're vulnerable to, you could, like, swap it, it seems like.
Yeah.
So you, like, make a flaming weapon and then a frost weapon, and that seems pretty cool.
Yeah, that's true. Gain the ability to channel and sometimes sacrifice. Why does it say sometimes sacrifice? No, baby. Additional effect noted in the curse's description. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, never mind. You have to choose the right. So he chose Right of the Frozen and Right of the Storm. So he can be either lightning bonus damage or cold bonus damage.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm not incredibly excited about that class. And I'm with him, like, you're taking so much of your damage, like, or so much of your own health pool for it, and not gaining any back. Like, especially the Lycan, why can't you somehow, like, feed on the energy of the creatures? No, they leveled up last week, Jazz.
Well, at least at this level, I am totally fine with having to burn a 1-level spell slot to heal him for whatever he takes for activating his right in exchange for his auto attacks almost doubling in damage.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I just think, like, if
So,
if you do a killing blow, you should be able to, like, somehow absorb some of that energy. You know what I mean? Like, something.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Thematically, yeah. The fact that there is no... Well, and actually, I don't know. Like, maybe it's just because we're level 7. Maybe there's health recovery built in at higher levels. But yeah, without it, it does feel thematically incomplete.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the only thing that can...
Instead of being... I was going to say, if they had the curse, instead of it being that when something dies, it throws an extra swing at something nearby, instead if it was something like, if the Blood Hunter deals the killing blow themselves, they regain some, static amount of hit points or something like that. That'd be
yeah. Yeah, because like
I
that.
don't know why I'm talking about this. Tim doesn't want to homebrew stuff. I was trying to think. I went down the homebrew route in my head. My bad.
Well, but at the same time, like he has that thing where he can, as they die, like make them attack something else within 5 feet. But what if they were within 5 feet and instead he could regain 1d8 hit points or something?
Yeah, totally.
Or 1d6 or whatever it is. Yeah, exactly. So that would be a super easy fix. And then sometimes he would be able to gain more or less than what he spent. You hearing that, baby?
Mm-hmm.
So whatever that brand is, what if we turned it into something that if you kill something within 5 feet of you, that you can then roll the same die that you do for the hemocraft to heal yourself, where you literally absorb energy from the blood of the creature.
So Crimson, right? It lasts all day. And is it 1d6 for every time I strike?
That's how I read it. I read it as you gain 1d6 damage all day of one of your 2 chosen types, which you chose the frozen or the lightning. So you could make it a cold bonus damage or a lightning extra damage.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's honestly, like, knowing that alone is better.
It seems pretty strong to me. And it just seems like this class isn't meant to be played by itself. Like, you need either a pocket healer or a shit ton of potions, but as long as you can heal through that damage that you take initially, you're going to be hitting harder than anything else.
Right.
And I kind of pivoted Neil that way. He was tanky to begin with, and he still is tanky, but he's like tanky healer, so I can... Like, that's how we played the cow fight just now. I have a bunch of enhancement spells to make you hit like a train, and I'm just distracting stuff.
Which makes sense since you don't even wield like a melee weapon.
Yep. That was the intended playstyle I wanted for Neil. I wanted him to be like a tanky distractor, augmenter guy.
Yeah, I just need to learn how to use Astral to better reflect that. But it's not that, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I know there's a bunch of stuff that you can do in there, and I just haven't taken the time to look at it. Because I guess I kind of felt like y'all were always trying to avoid combat. So it was like, I never really jumped at Astral and did much. But now I do have quite a few maps in there, so. That's good. But I'll learn it better, and then I'll try to find like a quick, what's it called? Like a quick reference guide for players, because I know there's a bunch of stuff that you can do too. Putting on, like spells of like haste or like the enlarge type thing. So I just gotta figure that out.
Cool.
But other than the technical bullshit, everybody okay with the way tonight went?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. No,
I like
that.
You like the Pact cows?
I do. I like the vultured cows.
I was too used to last campaign, so I was expecting waves, and I was like, gotta save my stuff. There's gonna be something after the cows, and then the cows ended, and I was like, oh shit. So that's why before we went to bed, I was like, oh, I should heal this, because that's what I would have done. If I was like, I gotta wait till I see what's coming out next.
Well, it wasn't meant to be, obviously they're cows, right? So it wasn't meant to be a deadly encounter. And then as I was updating y'all's stat sheets today, by the way, I fixed your spelling. I was like, because what I was going to do is every time one died, like every 2 that died or something like that, or every 3, then they would get a plus to hit and a plus for damage and a plus to AC. But then I was like, y'all just don't have a lot of health. There's just not a lot of health there. So like, you up 7 to 21 and all of a sudden that's a dead person. It was just supposed to be a fun fight. It's really funny. Little behind the screen magic. But cows can be deadly. apparently. You put some Pact cows in there. For all those DMs out there, you put 10 cows in front of 2 level 7s, you can end up deadly. Fun, but deadly. For no reason whatsoever. It's just, that's your action economy for you.
I'm playing around in Astral, and I just learned an important one. If you put your mouse somewhere and hold down Shift, you can draw a line, and it'll tell you the distance.
Oh, that's cool. I knew there was a button to do that, I just couldn't remember what it was. That's good.
I think that's the same thing it was in the other one too.
I think so. Yeah, there's a lot of like really easy things to do to measure that kind of stuff or for spell effects, and I just need to figure out what all that is to make it as cool as the rest of our stuff. But you can get animated spell effects and all kinds of stuff in it.
I saw that. I was like, oh that's weird. But so far I haven't found anything to make us bigger. Might be a DM only thing.
It might be. I just don't know. Like, I didn't have an option to enlarge the person.
Wait, I think I found it. Let's see if it does it. Yep, that's how you do it. So it would be on our side, it looks like. I don't know if you can do it, Tiffany, but under the player's controls, when you open up your menu, there's like an option that says like display 1 by 1, and so you can change that.
Okay, wait. I'm getting in. What am I doing?
So now see how Neil's twice as big?
Yeah. How do I do that? Right click?
So if you can see my edit character, so like if you can somehow edit the character, for me, which is spacebar.
Oh, I see. Display size. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really cool.
Save an external URL for quick access. Oh, interesting. Like, we can load our D&D Beyond URL into the character.
Oh.
I'm gonna see what that does. I don't know what it did.
Okay.
Perfect.
So it has this note when I clicked on it. It says character sheet URL. Save an external URL such as D&D Beyond for quick access from the player menu. Oh, okay. So it's literally just in this screen here. So now the URL's there. That's a useless feature.
Oh. Yeah.
So basically it's like a notepad that you can put your URL on, but if you're already doing that, you probably save the tab or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, and I know Tim had it up on 2 screens. Standard. Fire! None. That's so funny.
Interesting.
Sorry. Yeah. Well, there's just a bunch of stuff for dynamic lighting.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and you can make, like, areas, like line of sight areas and that kind of stuff. I don't know how often I'll do that unless it's an actual dungeon crawl. I mean, I guess I can make trees and stuff have line of sight just for y'all's use.
Ooh, you put down fire.
Like, there's my fireball, or there's my flame
So that's
wall.
cool. So how do you... Oh, okay, I see you can just delete it on your end. Because I didn't see a way to delete it on my end.
Yep. Space dust? What the hell's space dust? Oh,
I don't know, but that would be cool for
That's
magical
weird.
darkness.
yeah. Noxious fumes.
Oh, good. Perfect.
These names leave something to be desired. They're all just smoke effects of different colors.
They are, in different speeds.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's some pretty fun stuff here. And I think you can you can buy more. Because there's creators I know on Patreon that do animated maps or animated spell effects, all kinds of stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Pretty swanky.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice if you could literally like link your D&D Beyond sheet here, but then, you know, they would have to have rights and all kinds of stuff, and it
Yeah.
doesn't exist. I do hope that whatever VTT they're coming out with is something as simple as this, because I really do not like Roll20. There's nothing about it I like. But that's all I got for y'all tonight. Whoa, I just got some weird sounds. Interesting.
It's
Actually
actually
not.
not even that. It's AC 4000. It's not even. So what they provide is actually pretty decent.
We just need to set it up right. Alright.
Yeah.
If you
Anyway.
need help running cables, let me know. I'll come over.
Come over and run some cables.
Dude, I'm getting close to that point. So we have like a coax jack up here that I'd be interested in knowing if they could use that. But they also had satellite here. There's like 2 satellites here. So I'm thinking the lines go through satellite
Yeah.
and not cox.
Yeah. Same thing happened in my house where I had to investigate the outlets. I feel you.
Yeah, so but anyway, yeah, it was fun. Next stream we will not have next stream is Thursday. Tomorrow. Oh, yeah. The DM chat stream is tomorrow at 2 Pacific time. So learn more about DMing and just shoot the shit with our DM over here. And Thursday then is the foe campaign, and then Friday we usually do what's it called? More DM chats potentially. So add again too. So our schedule is basically 7 Pacific for foe and this campaign. The what are we calling this campaign? The main campaign?
Neil and Dezzen's adventures.
Yeah. The adventures of We're Fucked.
Can we have a power couple name like Dezzen?
I like Deal better.
What's the deal? How about that?
Perfect.
I mean, you do know about an adventure group called the Tipsy Gypsies now. So there is competition out there for cool names, because, you know, that's fucking cool.
So
I
yeah,
think both Tim and I
Monday,
vote for
Thursday.
what I put in the chat.
What's the deal? That's right. Yeah, Monday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific are our campaigns, and then Tuesday, Friday are DM chats, all Pacific time. So we, what is that, 4 days a week that we're streaming? So as soon as this is over, I'm going to reset the old router, get it back up and running, and then hopefully we won't have these issues. So, fun times. Thanks for joining us, though. Thanks for sticking it out.
Good
We
night.
love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Gonna
Stay
burn it
safe, stay
down.
good.
Night, guys.
And see you in Discord.